What kind of plans does China have for the space program? The Chinese government's goal is to colonize the Moon and Mars. Its goal is to have dispatched probes to Mars and Jupiter to collect samples by the year 2030, as well as to have landed its first astronauts on the Moon by that time. What are China's motivations for building its own space station? The end result of an image search on how China intends to expand its space station. By constructing a sizable modular space station, China is working toward the goal of improving its ability to innovate in the fields of science and technology. Research being out aboard the Chinese space station is expected to serve China's long-term aspirations for space exploration, which include expeditions to the Moon and Mars. China's top authorities have this expectation. Want to know more? Hey guys, welcome back to the Future Space. In today's video, we are going to talk about China's plan for its space station. So stay with us till the end of this video so you don't miss out on any of this information. But before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell symbol so that you don't miss out on any of our wonderful videos in the future. And let's get started. So why is this being reported? Recently, China's strategically crucial space station project completed the final phase as 3 astronauts boarded the orbiting module of the Tiangong Space Station. This was a momentous day for the country. The spaceship known as Shenzhou-14 was responsible for placing them into the appropriate orbit. The space flights that comprise Shenzhou-1 through Shenzhou-4 were unmanned spaceflight missions. The Tiangong Space Station is referred to as what? The Tiangong Space Station is a Chinese space station that is currently under construction in low planet orbit between 340 and 450 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. It is the first space station in China designed to operate for an extended period of time and was built as part of the country's manned space program. Why is China becoming involved in space exploration? China is eager to advance its satellite technology for a variety of uses, included but not limited to telecommunications, the control of air traffic, weather forecasting and navigation, and more. However, a significant number of its satellites also serve military functions. They are able to assist it in conducting covert operations against competing states and directing long-range missiles. According to Lucinda King, the manager of the space project at Portsmouth University, China is not only concentrating on high-profile space missions. They are abundant in all facets of the space environment. They not only have the finances but also the political motive to fund the programs that they have planned. Just a reminder guys, if you love to watch sci-fi content, then do check out our channel and do consider subscribing because we are building a strong community for sci-fi lovers. The potential to mine rare earth metals from the surface of the Moon is one of the driving forces for China's exploration efforts there. For a minimum of 10 years, China intends to keep its brand new multi-module space station, Tiangong, in a state of operational readiness. In 2021, China successfully launched an unmanned module for their permanent space station that was given the name Tianhe, which translates to Harmony of the Heavens. China has stated that it expects to finish building the station by the end of 2022. The Tianhe core model will be the first module of the Tiangong Space Station module to be launched. The Shenzhou-5 through Shenzhou-14 missions are considered to be human space flights. A space station is a type of spaceship that can sustain the lives of its crew members, is intended to remain in space for a lengthy period of time, and has docking ports for other types of spacecraft. These ambitious objectives include international collaboration, commercialization, and maybe even growth. Before the end of the year, China plans to launch 6 major missions towards the completion of its Tiangong space station. Space authorities have stated that the station may soon be able to connect with a powerful telescope and may even house commercial operations as well as foreign astronauts. The information was disclosed in the course of a news conference that took place on April 17, a day after the return of the Shenzhou-13 astronauts following their national record-setting 182-day mission on board Tiangong's core module Tianhe. According to Hao Chun, director of the China Manned Space Engineering Office, the 6 key missions will begin in May with a resupply trip, followed by the 6-month-long Shenzhou-14 crewed voyage in June. This information was provided by the China Manned Space Engineering Office. Tianhe will be joined in orbit by a second module known as Wentian, Asking the Heavens, in the month of July, which will be followed by the launch of the third and final module, Mengtian, Dreaming of the Heavens, in the month of October. Late in the year, the Tiangong station will host its first crew rotation, with the Shenzhou-14 astronauts welcoming the newcomers on board, thanks to additional living quarters in the Wentian module. This will be when the Tianzhou-5 cargo and Shenzhou-15 crewed missions will launch into space for the first time. After it has been completely put together, Tiangong will play home to crewed flights that last for a total of 6 months. During these trips, astronauts will participate in a wide variety of experiments and outreach activities. According to statements made by Chinese space authorities, the tests would concentrate mostly on life sciences, research conducted in microgravity, astronomy, earth science, and the development of novel materials and technologies for use in space. The blueprint for the Tiangong station, which was initially developed in 1992, asks for its 3 modules to continuously house personnel for a period of 10 years. Each year there would be a total of 4 launches: 2 crewed spacecraft, 2 cargo spacecraft, and 2 launch vehicles. According to HAL, the launch of the Juntian Space Telescope, which will co-orbit with the Tiangong Space Station and be able to dock for refueling and maintenance, is scheduled for the late year 2023. According to HAL, the telescope will conduct frontier scientific research in the formation and evolution of the universe, as well as research on dark matter and dark energy, exoplanets, and objects in the solar system, and it is anticipated that this will result in a number of major innovative breakthroughs. Nevertheless, the CMSEO is contemplating not only the expansion of the space station as well as the breadth of its activities, but also the development of fresh access points leading to Tiangong. According to HAL had to say, "We are building the expanding modules and cabins of the spaceship in order to perform more experiments and give better living circumstances for the astronauts." According to ideas for an extension that were presented earlier, Tiangong could one day be able to be expanded to a total of 6 modules, which would include updated versions of the Tianhe module, as well as the Wentian and Mengtian experiment modules. In addition, research and development are being done on a next-generation launch vehicle that is reusable, as well as the next-generation crew spaceship that has the capacity to transport up to 7 people. At the moment, China sends its astronauts into orbit using a rocket called the Long March 2F and a spacecraft called the Zhenshu. In the not-too-distant future, Tiangong may potentially play home to commercial missions. According to HAL had to say, "We'll also actively study new models of commercial human spaceflight and introduce commercial cargo." In response to a question on international cooperation, HAL remarked that China will absolutely engage in more in-depth exchanges and cooperation with all countries in the world dedicated to the peaceful use of outer space. Yang Liwei, who made history in 2003 by becoming China's first astronaut to reach space, stated to the media in March that untrained astronauts will be able to travel to Tiangong maybe by the end of the decade. Yang Liwei made history in 2003 by becoming China's first astronaut to reach space. However, China must finish the Tiangong project first. The Tianzhou 4 cargo mission is scheduled to be the next spacecraft to be launched. The spacecraft, which weighs 29,760 pounds and is set to launch from Wenchang atop a Long March 7 rocket, will transport fuel and supplies for the Shenzhou 14 mission, which is scheduled to get underway in the month of June. And that's it for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please click on the like button and share it with your families and friends. If you have any questions or comments, please share them with us in the comment space below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. You can also check out our other videos that have been specially selected for you. We'll catch up in the next video.